Yo, what's up? Oh, you're gonna love this video. And this video is all about my first date routine, the things I do for first dates, and the 20 things specifically before a first date. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that notification button because I'm dropping video every day. All right. My routine for first dates, 20 things, right? Some of the things you're going to hear and you're going to think, oh, that's obvious, but they're important. The reason why I'm sharing this is because everything, their first date is so important. Like, it just sets the tone for everything. It's like watching a movie. That opening sequence is everything to hook you, get you in, get you interested. And women are observing everything you're doing. And I'm going to cover all these little things. This is going to be a longer video, so just stay with me. These are very, very important tips. And if you want to increase her attraction for you, especially her sexual attraction for you, then you need to incorporate some of these things before your first date. And you do these things, you will accelerate the time, accelerate the time that you're going to be intimate with this person, because what guy doesn't want to be intimate with the girl that they're interested in? Some women will drag that out because they've kind of friend zoned you, or they have this high attraction, and you end up sleeping with them within a few dates. So these things are going to help you increase that attraction. So let's get into it. All right. Basic. Number one, I confirm the date within about a week in advance. Yes, sometimes there's last minute stuff, but usually I make a connection on the weekend with someone. Let's say it's a dating app or I'm out at a restaurant, whatever, and I meet them. There's some texting back and forth. By about Monday, Tuesday, I'm hitting them up and I'm like, uh, let's do something on Friday, right? Usually within 48 hours to 72 hours of that first initial meet, I'm asking them out. Sometimes sooner than that, like the same day, not same day, but like you meet one day and then like the next day you're texting, and then I'll ask them out that day about a week in advance. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is you want to keep the conversation light. Don't come off too heavy or needy, but you need to keep the conversation going throughout the week. Just little blips here and there. Drop in a few good mornings, not every morning. Drop in a couple good nights, or in the middle of the day, how's your day going? Just something like that, because out of sight, out of mind. So that's number two. Now, this one's important. Number three is, where are you actually going to go? What are you actually going to do, right? FitX Fearless, I like his content. He's adamant about not doing dinner dates. That's fine. However, I've been married 20 years, dated before the marriage, had long-term relationship, now dating again, and I don't do coffee shops typically. The only exception is if I find a super cool coffee shop with a DJ and it's a few hours to get together. But for me, okay, you guys need to learn about love languages. If you're not familiar with that, I'll do a video specifically on the 5 love languages. So one of my top 3 love languages is time. I like to spend quality time with someone. So that's the main reason why I don't do coffee dates, is because usually they're quick, short dates. It's like your first date, and I want to get to know the person, and I want to spend 2, 3, 4, 5 hours with that person, if that's what happens in the evening. So I prefer to go out in the evening for drinks, for dinner, not dinner all the time, but definitely incorporating some drinks. The person is more relaxed, they get in a better mood, they become more flirtatious when there's alcohol, always, right? So you need to not ever, first date, don't invite her to Chick-fil-A, Cheesecake Factory, any of that shit. Like, she's gonna think, what the fuck? Like, you don't have to spend a lot of money, but you need to pick a place that has a vibe, right? It's sexy, that she's going to feel, wow, this guy is thoughtful. It's not just some easy thing. It's some place I've never heard of. And it's like, it's got a vibe, right? So for example, I was out last night and for the first time, I went to this small little bar and it was cool. It was just no seating anywhere. You stand in this place that's small. The artwork was kind of cool. The prices were very reasonable, but it was very kind of artsy, funky. Women love that, man. Like, and again, they're judging you. They're looking at everything, every detail. So get that right. Like, again, you don't have to spend a ton of money, but they're gonna go, wow, this guy, this tells me about the guy that I'm gonna go out with because he chose this interesting place. By the way, guys, this is gonna be a long video, so stay with me if you wish, but I'm gonna cover these 20 things, right? So that number 3 is the place that you're going to matters, and choose a place with a vibe. And again, it doesn't have to be a high-end, expensive place, but it's got a vibe. So for example, last thing about this is that there's this one restaurant and they have old and not refurbished, they're not working, but they have a gun wall in the bathrooms, which is fucking nuts. You go to the bathroom like, holy shit, only in Georgia, right? All right, so that's number 3, the place. Number 4, this is important as well. Offer to get her Uber there and back. Get right. You pay for her Uber there and back, but you offer it. Why is that important? Because first of all, it sets the stage of like, damn, this guy is a gentleman. He's courteous. The other thing is, now they're going to feel, okay, if he's going to get my Uber, then I don't have to drive. I don't have to worry about how many drinks I'm having because I have to drive home. It just makes it easier for her, right? That's critical. Offer to get her Uber. Most of my dates agree to that. Okay? So, number 5, the day before you're going to go out on the date, whatever that day is, you have your date on a Friday planned or Saturday, the day before, drop her a little text and say, hey, I'm looking forward to meeting you, seeing you. Don't say I'm excited unless she says she's excited, but keep it on the down low. Like, you've done this before. This is not a big deal. Even if she's an 8, 9, or 10, doesn't matter. You say, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. So that's number 5. Number 6, this is a Jedi mind trick, and it works every time. I get a 100% show up rate when I do this. And you might be thinking, what the fuck? Number 6 is the day of the date. I don't text them. No good morning text, no text in the afternoon, nothing. Right? And their mind is spinning and they're like, what the fuck? This guy confirmed yesterday. Has he ghosted me? He's not interested? What the hell? You do that. You do not say a word on the day of. I've never had somebody cancel. Okay, maybe once they said, hey, I didn't hear from you, so maybe there are plans. But she was a bitch anyways. So every time, this is what happens. The morning comes and goes, early afternoon, around there, all of a sudden, boom, I get a text and she says, hey, good afternoon or good morning. Are we still on for tonight? The reason why this is critical is because no guy does that. No, I'm giving you this amazing Jedi mind trick tip. No guy does not confirm on the day of the date. Like, they don't do that. So you have to constantly be thinking of, how do I make myself different from all these motherfuckers out there chasing her? Offering to get her Uber there and back is one of the things. Very few guys do that. No guy does not confirm on the day of the date, waiting for her to text first. And like I said, I get 100% show up rate with all of those first dates when I do that. And now they're chasing me. And it's a weird, strange psychological thing. They show up, they almost always show up on time. They they have this respect for you, and they're going to follow your lead, and it's an amazing, amazing thing. Is again, so number 6, don't confirm on the day, you wait for them to text you first. Oh man, number 7, man. All right, so you need to clean your place. And you might be thinking, what the fuck? I'm going on a first date with this person. Why would I need to clean my place? Oh, I have a story for you. All right. So I always clean my place before that first date, because you never know what's going to happen. And maybe she's going to want to come over unexpectedly. So, true story. I go on this first date, blonde, hot, at 8.5, right? Very attractive. And so the date's going great. It was a dinner date. We're having some drinks, and she says, "Oh, where do you live in the city?" So I told her where I live in the city, and she's like, and then she's like, "Do you live in this particular building, Lily Midtown?" I said, "Yes." By the way, if you haven't seen my apartment tour, go check out that video, and I give you a tour of this whole building. This is a real space that I do my videos in. This is the rooftop lounge. So she says, "Oh, I love that building, and I've never actually seen inside. Let's go to your place." Oh, fuck. I did not clean my place for like a week. I had stuff all over the place. I didn't make my bed. And my place is typically clean, like very, very, very meticulously clean. In my video, you'll see like 4 days out of the week. And then some of the other days, it's like, anyways, I was like, damn it, damn it, damn it. Gorgeous girl wants to go back to my place, but my place is a fucking mess. What do you do? Right? Well, I'm like, sure, but just to manage expectations, I wasn't expecting any company to come over, and so my place isn't very tidy. And she's like, "Oh, I don't care." I I was so self-conscious when she came over. I was so off my game, right? Nothing happened. She came over. It was great. We had a drink, and then tried to plan another date with her, and then she just got flaky, whatever. So it's not like we didn't see each other because my place was messy, but I learned a lesson, and that is plan ahead just in case. So clean your place before the first date, because you never know. Things might just go really well, and she says, "Hey, you want to have a drink at your place, whatever," and then you don't want to say no. Okay, so that's number 7. Oh man, number 8. Number 8 is clean your car. Like, fuck, man. If you are going to go pick her up, you're going to meet, it doesn't matter. Again, you have to plan for this, because you don't know if all of a sudden she needs a ride someplace. Like, she shows up, right, for your date. You have no idea how she got there unless you ask. So she shows up. What if she took an Uber? And then she says, do you mind driving me home? If your car is a disaster and it's full of dust, it's got garbage and food wrappers, the windows haven't been cleaned inside, and it just looks like a fucking pigsty, she's going to judge you for that. And she's going to go, "What the fuck, man? This guy is a dirty motherfucker." So clean your car. Do it. Trust me. You don't want her seeing your dirty ass car. Just one side note. I take a lot of Ubers, and the Uber drivers, and no offense to any of you viewers that are Uber drivers, but like, fuck, man, this is your business. And your car looks like shit. It smells like garbage. It's dirty inside. Like, fuck. You need to level up your game, man. Like, and if you want to level up your dating game and you want to date more attractive and younger women, you need to pay attention to these things. Okay, so that's number 8. Number 9, change your sheets. Right. Again, I know this is a lot for a first date, but you More times than not, I've gone out on a first date and she's coming over to my place. Not all the time, but sometimes we're in bed now. And you don't want to run the risk of saying no, or you have smelly sheets or whatever. Clean your sheets or change your sheets, okay? So that's number 9. Number 10. Number 10. Listen. All right. This is something nobody does, right? And I'm giving you some really good hot tips here. Number 10 is if you find out she's driving. So she says, no, it's okay. I don't need an Uber. I'll drive there. Go take out whatever you think. I will take out $100 if I know she's driving, because Ubers in Atlanta, if I'm going to get her Uber, it's at least $30 one way, $30 another way, typically, right? And I don't mind being a little generous, especially if I like her. And so I find out she's driving. I know what she looks like. It's real. We've had some video calls, right? I talked about how to avoid getting catfished. So I know she's real. We've had some video chats before the first date. So that's no issue. I will take out $100. And this is the thing. I have a quick story for you on this one. So I take out $100, and I'll talk about this later, but when she gets that cash, now her attraction for you is off the charts, right? Don't ever buy her flowers, candies, a little teddy bear, or any of that shit. Like, you don't need to impress her. She's already impressed with you. You're already going on a first date. You don't have to go overboard. The $100 for the gas is a courtesy thing. And so this is the interesting thing. I'm at this restaurant one time, right? And there was an artist there. So she's painting away, and it was a big party. And then the party's kind of winding down. The artist is sitting at the table. She was very cute. But anyway, so I was distracted. I was talking to a bunch of other people. And she's got this bouquet of flowers beside her. So I kind of swoop in and I'm like, hey, those are beautiful flowers. Are those yours? Like, did somebody buy those for you? And she's like, yeah, this guy bought me the flowers. And then he gave me his number, and then he left. And so I asked her, I said, so were you impressed by that? Or like, what are you thinking? She's like, this guy goes and buys me flowers, but he doesn't buy my painting. If he really wanted to impress me, he would have bought my painting. And I'm like, yep, cash, something that actually helps her. Flowers are useless. Like, don't be doing the flowers thing ever on dates, because you don't need to impress her. She's already impressed. So I'll get to the cash thing a little later. All right, so that's number 10. Number 11. Number 11 is, again, you have no idea if she's coming over to your house or not. So you need to stock up on some alcohol, right? Have the bubbly there. Have some red wine. Have some beer. Have some tequila for tequila shots, whatever. Like, you just don't know, right? So if she comes over, you need to be prepared. Say, hey, do you want to have a drink? And then she might say, do you have any tequila? Do you want to do a shot? Whatever. So buy alcohol, stock up, make sure the town is not dry. All right, number 12. Number 12 is grooming, okay? I'm going to get into some very specific ones. No particular order, but number 1, you need to cut your nails. See my nails? See how short they are? And they're clean. So maybe you work with your hands, but clean those nails and cut your nails. Women notice hands, and they don't like men with long nails. This woke garbage of men having longer nails and painted fingernails, it's very, very few men that can get away with that. Like Russell Brand, he's kind of a rocker kind of dude, maybe a little longer, or maybe black fingernails with tattoos and all that shit. But in general, it's just a safe bet. Cut your nails, okay? The other thing is basic grooming, man. Like, take care of your beard, trim yourself. And specifically, man, because I see this in a lot of dudes, and specifically is you need to trim your nose hairs and your ear hairs. I grow hair in my ears and my nose, like most of us guys, and they're watching, man. They're looking at every little thing about you. So trim the ear hairs. You do not want hairs coming out, man. It's gross. Or your nose. So there you go. So that's grooming. Number 13, and thank you for staying with me, man, because these are all really amazing tips. Number 13, what do you wear on the date, right? You want to look sexy. No blazer, no, if you're going to wear a dress shirt, you roll up the sleeves, right? But you want to look sexy. You want her to increase her sexual attraction for you quickly when you are there. You do not want to be in business attire. God, man, I see so many dudes. You do not want to be wearing a baseball hat. You do not want to be wearing a hoodie. You want to look sexy. So you're watching this video, look at my shirt, right? I will wear something like this on a first date. You can't go wrong with black. You can't go wrong with a leather jacket, like a cool kind of biker kind of jacket with jeans, sneakers. You want to come off as sexy, kind of bad boy, mysterious. You don't take yourself too seriously. So avoid the blazer, avoid the fucking tie. And I don't care what age you are. If you're 70 years old and you're going out with a woman who's in her 60s or 70s, whatever, don't look like that douche grandpa, right? I did a video about a 65-year-old woman. If you haven't seen that one, where she rejects this guy. He was older than her because she felt like she was on a date with a grandpa because he wore baggy pants, he wore a blazer and a dress shirt, and he just looked like shit. So you want to look sexy. And regardless of your body shape, man, you could still look sexy. And so that's what you need to do. I mentioned the black shirt, jeans, leather jacket. Can't go wrong with that. All right. Number 14. You need to arrive at the date, wherever you're meeting, at least 10 to 15 minutes early because maybe she's going to be early and you don't want her waiting for you. Also, the reason why you need to arrive early to scope out the situation. And a lot of restaurants, if I go to a restaurant, they don't take reservations at the bar. And I'll talk about this a little later, but I like to sit at the bar in the restaurant because I can be beside her. I usually choose a restaurant where the bar stools, so let me just grab this. Bar stools kind of look like this, right? They're comfortable, they have a back behind you. So I like, and sometimes the bar, most times you can't get reservations at the bar, so that's where I like to sit. So 15 to 20 minutes early, around there. All right, number 15, this is a big one. When you know she's coming, right, turn off your notifications on your phone. Like no sounds, and most importantly, no alerts like showing up on your phone. If you're sitting there and your phone is on the bar or the table, whatever, and she sees a text from Lisa, Maria, Helen, whatever, her sexual desire for you, and I know this is a little contradictory because women like competition, but not in this situation. If a woman sees another woman texting you on your phone, her desire for you has just dropped. And if there's multiple texts, she's basically checked out. Like the date is done. Don't run that risk. Instagram notifications, WhatsApp notifications, your text notifications, whatever, just turn them off. Obviously, you want to know when she's arriving. So as soon as she says, hey, I'm just parking right now, great. Put the phone away, even better. Put the phone away, no notifications. Like, trust me, man. You don't want that popping up out of the blue. And now she's not interested in you, okay? So number 16, I already talked about this, but the importance of sitting at the bar in the restaurant, not at a table across from her, because you don't want her to feel like it's an interview. And I see so many dudes on these dates. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you sitting across from her at a table when you can sit at the bar, engage with the bartender, crack some jokes, listen to stories. I have had so much success sitting at the bar on these dates versus a table. All right. So, number 17. Okay, this is critical, and I'm just checking my notes. All right. Number 17, when she arrives, it is critical you establish touch at the beginning. So, a lot of guys will see the girl and they will reach out their hand to shake their hand. Don't ever do that. What you need to do is, as soon as you see her, she walks in, you give her a big hug and you say, "Oh my God, it's so great to see you. You're pretty," or whatever, and hold the hug for a few seconds, not too long, but a few seconds. You've touched her. She's now comfortable. She's had an opportunity to smell you. If you're wearing a fragrance, she's not going to say anything, but she's now like, "Okay, okay, he's just touched me. All right." Next is, if she drove, going back to my tip about the $100 and the gas money, right? If she drove, then as soon as you sit down and you get comfortable, get the money out of your pocket. I have done this so many times. You get the money out of your pocket, fold it up in your hand, right? It's like this. And you say to her, "Give me your hand for a moment." And she's like, "Okay." She gives you your hand. Touching her hand is so critical. Critical. Now, again, you're building sexual tension, you're building desire, right? You take her hand gently and you put the cash in her hand and you look at her and you say, "Hey, this is just a little something for you to help cover your gas." Oh, shit. Her eyes are going to be boom. She's going to be, "What the fuck? Wow." Like, she's now wowed and you've touched her hand, which is critical part of the touching, right? So remember that one. When she arrives, you give her a hug, a few seconds, and then if you do have the gas money, you give that to her very quickly after you've settled into your date. All right, number 18. I did a video on psychological reasons for attraction and what is the number one thing that women find attractive with a guy on a date. And it's, yes, physically and all this stuff, but the most important thing of all that stuff, because you could be a Chad but you're boring, you don't carry on the conversation, and you need to stimulate her emotional attraction to you, and it's laughter. So number 18, go check out Russell Brand's videos, and that guy is funny as fuck, man. He's always joking around, he's always laughing. You need to get her laughing a lot and tease her a little bit, tease yourself, like make fun of yourself a little bit, but not too much. And so laughter is critical. All right, last 2 points. 19. So number 19 is, this is what I do, right? So after the initial hug and I give her some gas money or whatever, is number 19 is you need to wait for her to touch you now. And just don't be touchy with her. I heard from one woman in my building, she went on a first date. Actually, no, it wasn't that. It was the Uber driver. This Uber driver on Christmas, she had a first date on Christmas. I'm like, holy shit, man, who scores a first date on a significant holiday like that? So kudos to the guy, but the guy really fucked up because she didn't want to see him after that because he was too touchy. So this is what I do. So number 19 is I just wait. I'm talking, we're laughing, and she's like, she's laughing and she starts touching my arm or she's whatever. Then you know, okay, she seems to be quite into you at this point because of the touching. All right. Last tip, right? And I did a video on this, on how I blew my date by fucking up that first kiss. I go in for a first kiss on pretty much every first date. At the end of the date, obviously the vibe has to be right. We have to be having a good time. I have to know that she's been touching me and I'm attracted to her. It seems very mutual. Well, at the end of the evening, I go in for that kiss. Don't ever ask, "Can I kiss you?" Because the video I did with the 65-year-old woman that didn't want to see the 67-year-old guy, that was one of the things she mentioned. She's like, "Oh, and he asked to kiss me." I found that weird. Don't ask. You just when you're about to cancel or not cancel, you're about to end the date, you go in for a hug, you kind of look at her, and then just go in for that kiss. Not too much tongue, right? Right. So there you have it, man. Whew, that was a long one. Thanks for sticking with me. 20 tips and my routine on the things I do for first dates. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is there a couple things maybe I've missed? What do you do for your first dates? And look forward to seeing you next time, man. Have a great day.